Every year, we watch the entire senior class come up here, one by one, and speak to us about their life experiences. For a while, I told myself that I wouldn't have to come up here, that time would move so slowly that I'd just forget about it and it wouldn't necessarily happen. The first senior speech I ever watched, to admit, I was a little bit distracted looking at the chapel. To be honest, I didn't really care about what was going on. I didn't know this person. He doesn't concern me. His speech doesn't benefit me. But those organ pipes, they sure are shiny. I'm serious. I guarantee half of those kids there in the back are doing the same exact thing. I don't feel bad about it. Everyone's done it. But looking back on it now, 3.5 years later, considering it's my turn, I feel bad. And not that because I didn't care would affect that one kid, but because it was his moment and I simply didn't respect it. My dad taught me at a young age that how you do one thing is how you do everything. And while I thought for years that he was partially wrong, I've come to realize the truth behind it. Just as I sat there many times thinking about other things rather than just focusing and respecting on the speech that was being given, I've applied that other mindset to other more important, bigger situations in my life. To generalize it, I just didn't care enough to focus on what I should have been focusing on. Now, this wasn't intentional. I've never intentionally don't care about something. I was taught that if you're going to do something, then you would do it wholeheartedly. But it was something that I did, and it was a bad habit, which put me in situations I didn't want to be in or ruin opportunities that I had been given. Now, I don't need to go into detail about those, but I do know what my problem was. My problem was what I had a hard time changing. Not necessarily as a person, but in my mindset, my thought processes, and how it worked. In short, if you have a goal you want to reach, and you feel like you're working but you're not reaching it, you have to change something about what you're doing. There's two things in my life which I consider are the most important mindsets to stick to. Change is number one. Change has been a keystone habit in my life. Whenever I had something that I need to work for, or I've had to change what I'm doing to get it. The biggest change that I've made for myself is learning to care about whatever I'm doing. Just as my dad said, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it with full effort. Football is something that I saw my mindset change in. Freshman year was my first year here, my first year as a high school football player. It was a new experience for me. I've never played with kids this big before. I've never gone 2 hours on a charter bus to play a team. I've never been on a dominating team that won every game. To admit it now, I was a little overwhelmed with the experience. I spent my freshman year of football having fun, being hype on the sidelines, cheering on my team, even though I wasn't out there with them. Now, don't get me wrong, I had a great time. I was part of a state championship winning team, the first one the school's football team has gotten, before we won the second one sophomore year. I met my best friend Cam Vining, and the boys Dylan, Sket, Ethan, and Ty. I even became Sweet Feet freshman year. A name which holds such power that it stuck, and now most people know that name before they even know my own. Freshman year was a great one for me, but here my mindset wasn't right. I had fun, but I wasn't really playing. I knew I wanted to get on the field, but I didn't work at it then. I didn't care too much because I was having such a great time, but I wish I did. Over the next 2 years, though, I slowly but surely developed that care and learned to put in effort to get on the field. Sophomore year was kind of a slump because I got too comfortable with where I was at and I started cruising, but I started on and off working hard until the summer of my senior year where I was there. I'd figured out what it meant to work hard and put in effort. Working out 3 times a day, staying consistent and disciplined, it paid off. The past football season was the best I've had. I was starting at middle linebacker next to my best friend Cam. I finished the season second on team in tackles. And as a team, we made it to the semifinals. Looking at the situation in particular, I can see how a simple change in mindset can affect a goal you would want to complete or reach. Applying this idea of a changed mindset to everything in my life has helped in school and football and track and get me into college. Receiving my first college football offer, finding better friends, building up confidence, pretty much everything in my life is affected and better due to it. That would be my one piece of advice to anyone. If you want to do better in life, change your mindset and the way you see things. Put effort and passion into what you do, and if you do, everything your parents told you was right. You truly can do what you want in life and be good at it. Now, like I said, there's 2 things that are important to me in my mindset. Number 2 is being happy. It may seem kind of corny or common, something you see on any old card or grocery bag, but it's been the thing that's in my head that I always stick to. If you can keep a happy mindset, you can get through anything. And I mean anything. It doesn't mean just the emotion of happiness, walking around smiling, laughing at everything. No, it's the little things. The effort to be joyful, to not let anything get you down, no matter the situation. And anybody who knows me can protest that I'm always energetic to the point where I might be annoying, but all you can do is smile with me. Sket knows for sure. I'm always joking around with Sket, and sometimes he gets mad at me, but it's funny. It's out of love. Being happy is talking to someone and just being nice for no reason. For example, 3 years in a row, without fail, I can always count on Kate Mulqueen saying, "Hi, sweet feet," every single time I see her. Every single time. And it's just nice. I could be annoyed about something or bothered about something. She just walked past smiling and greet me in the same way. It makes me smile. Sometimes being happy is just vibing with your friends. It's bopping to some bangers in the car with Brock. It's dance battles in the locker room where Asa proceeds to do a split in the middle of the room and blow everyone away. It's dancing while DJ starts to jam to that Florida Boy anthem. Sometimes it's doing plays with your friends and singing in front of everyone who you didn't know you could. I try to remember everything I do with my friends so I have something to look back on and be happy. Being happy is the #1 priority for me. Not just my happiness, but in everyone I know. I love to make people happy, and that's why I try to be there for anyone who needs it. On the topic of being happy, let me tell you some people who make me happy every day. Chloe Cast. I know you might cry because you're sensitive and all, but I hope you know I'm going to miss waiting for you to walk through those front doors every day, smiling before you proceed to roast me. I'm going to miss every time you tug me by my finger and force me to walk you to class, just so I can be late to mine. I'll miss sitting with you in the squad, James, Jordan, AJ, Brooks, and Allison every lunch. I'm going to miss every handshake before class, every time you call me or FaceTime me just to act goofy, so you can make me watch you cook, clean, dance, or eat ramen noodles. Thank you for being you. Always keep in contact because you become one of my closest friends. Dylan Davis. I remember walking into the locker room summer before freshman year for the first day of camp. You were just as big as you are now, and I swear I thought you were a senior. You had a full beard and everything. The first thing you said was, "Hey, I'm Dylan. Are you going to come play football with us?" I said, "Yeah, I am." You said, "That's great. We'd love to have you out here." You've always been that nice to me, and every year you and I have gotten a little closer. But just so you know, you always have been a great role model to me. You've always been supportive and been someone I can ask anything to. Thank you for being such a great dude. I'm going to miss seeing a giant bear across the line from me in practice that I can just ram my head into full speed. Good luck at Furman. Hit everyone as hard as you hit me for 4 years. Love you, bro. Hannah. Freshman year, you and I were the new kids. I first talked to you in Sofer's first period class, and since then you and I have gotten a little closer and closer. I remember everything. Every time that, every care package you'd given me, every car ride that we've joked around while you screamed at the road. Every time we'd sit on the playground and jam 2008 Nicki Minaj. That one package of 7-Eleven spaghetti noodles you brought me back from Japan freshman year when you found out that I like to cook and you told me to save them so we could cook them senior year. You're my favorite llama fanatic and coffee junkie. I don't know how you're going to carry all 4 of your coffees every morning now that we're going to different schools. In addition to being my personal chauffeur, you've become one of my closest friends. Most importantly, you truly have been through a journey, and I want you to know that I'm grateful for letting me go through it with you every day. I hope you know I'm so proud of you for everything you've been able to accomplish, even after the extremes ups and downs you've had to deal with over the past few years. You truly are an extremely strong and resilient person, and even at times where you're uncertain what things are going to look like for you, you still bless me with that smile of yours. Thank you for being such a great friend to me, and I'll miss you when you head off to your dream school. I love you. Cam, what can I say? You're my boy. The first time I met you was years ago when my dad coached here. You were throwing the ball with someone, I don't know who it was, and you offered to throw it with me. We talked a bit, but when I came freshman year, that's all I knew you by. Along with Dylan, you've kind of treated me like a little brother and helped me get adjusted to St. Stephen's. Since then, you've become the closest bond that I've created here, and I'm thankful for everything for the past 4 years. I don't know if you even understand how much I appreciate you. You've been someone to look up to, been someone I could vibe with, someone I could trust in my life, but most importantly, you've become a brother to me whether you like it or not. Trust me when I say I'll never forget everything you've done for me, all the Wawa slushies, the visits to the country club slash machine after practice, definitely every single car ride, whether you're taking me home, to school, to team breakfast, to your house, wherever, we still be in there bopping to some 90s R&B. Thank you for all 12 of the handshakes that we made, even though we remember one. Thank you for the songs we recorded and the ones we made, because we're indeed still releasing that album. Thank you for this past football season, watching film with me, helping me play a linebacker, and eventually playing right by you all season. So much more I can say, but just know you've been the greatest influence for me, bro, and I can't wait to see you thrive at West Point, soldier. Love you, man. To my siblings, Evan, Julian, Kieran, Gian, London, and Kellen. Whether I show it or not, you guys are the most important people in my life. I may beat you up, make fun of you, and you do the same, but I love you guys more than my heart can physically do so, and I mean that. I'm gonna miss you dogpiling me or when I wake up with one of you sleeping on top of my head. I can't wait to see each of you grow up and do better than I did, because whether or not I'm a great role model, you guys are going to be great one day, because each of you are better than I am in every way. Except cuter, of course. I'm way cuter than you. Love you guys. Uncle AJ, or should I say Coach Brown for those of you who still don't know he's my uncle for some reason. Ever since I was 8 years old, starting football, you had come home from Tennessee, and you've worked with me you've worked so much to try and help me be great. Obviously, I've been stubborn the past few years, but I appreciate everything. And like you said, it takes a man to be able to look back and realize you've messed up and be able to leave it in the past and be better moving forward. I thank you for everything, and congratulations on becoming the new football coach. I love you. Mom and Dad, to be honest, I don't know what to say. There's so much I could say right now, but I'm going to try to sum it up the best I can. Maybe stubborn and hard-headed and dumb and simple-minded, but don't forget everything you teach me, and I know there are thousands of times you like to punch me in my face, but I want you to know that I appreciate all the things you do for me and my siblings. The two of you are my world. I truly wouldn't be who I am at all if it wasn't for you two. And I definitely do not show it or say it enough, but I love you guys so much. Thank you, Mom, for being my biggest advocate, even when I proved that I didn't deserve it. You're my rock, and I hope you know that I'm grateful for everything you do for me and my siblings. I'm not going to look at you anymore because you're crying, because you're a crybaby, but I love you. I love you so much. Thank you, Dad, for every talk, every word of wisdom you've tried to pry into my thick skull, every workout that you've pushed me through, every time you've taught me, whether you think I listened or not, when I do grow up, I hope I can become as great of a man as you are, because all I want to do in life is to make you proud and become the king that you say that I can be. I love you. To the both of you, I promise to make you proud when I leave. I'll take all the morals you put into me, the work ethic, the wisdom that you both have, and I'll be grateful for the past 17 years and 11 months that I've known you. You're not allowed to be sad about me leaving, though. I may be your son, but it's all good. You got 6 more to spare. I love you guys a lot. If you want to be a happy person and have a great time in high school, truly all you need to do is find out what makes you work and what makes you care. Find the things that you need to change so you can better yourself. Find the things that will pay off in the long run. Thank you to the class of 2020, because you guys have made these 4 years great. And last but not least, and the football team can attest to this, like Coach Phelan says, we're out of here.